Hello, Wolf. Hello, Wordman. Candid Cam. What? Hello, Domino. Hello, L. Yeah, let's talk about that first of all. Um, for those of you who were still subbed to the channel, and there were four of you, Vinny, Cade Bengert, that Mark with a C, and I want to say maybe it was Wordman. I can get the exact numbers from my computer, which we'll hopefully be using this time next week. Thanks for all of these new emotes, man. How's by me? Me has been horrible, and we're gonna talk all about that. I had myself a day, and does it sound far away or does it sound close? Because I'm supposed to be on wireless, tireless and wireless and alpha male on beta blockers. So, oh, I see. Okay, well, shows how much I know because I've been living under a rock. Sounds fine on your end. Okay, that's good. Yes, I still have Soda Machine. That hasn't changed at all. Joe, hello. Okay, so what the hell has been going on? Here's the short version. I was in an emotionally and verbally abusive relationship with Tabitha, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I left. That's the short version. The long version is, okay, apparently somebody did me the due justice of having Moobot say that I was live on the Discord. That's really cool. And Evelyn is here. That's Teddy Root 12. She already knows everything, so anything that I'm going to say here isn't going to come as a surprise to her. But yeah, I left Tabitha, and this is really, really not good because that was you? Okay, thank you. Geek Space. I know who that is. That's Danny Boy. What's up? That was the funny thing. I was like, hey, look at that. Somebody followed me on Twitch and I haven't broadcasted for a year. So, okay, so let's take it all the way from the beginning here. Oh yeah, Silent Hero. That was the fourth one. Sorry. It was that Mark with a C, Silent Hero, Cade Bengert, and Vinny. So, I'm doing better, Sean. I'm doing way, way better. Now that I'm far, far away from her in parts unknown in the United States. Kate, hello. I miss your face so much. Hello, Eraser. Hello, Shelby. Oh my gosh, your neon green name is screwing with my eyes on this tiny little screen. So, alright, so. Arcado, hello. Oh, my boy, Matthew. Dear sweet boy, I have known Matthew Freeze, Obsidian Sigma, since 2005. And to watch him grow into the incredible man that he is right now is just incredible. So, alright, yes, Eric sees me. You got bees! That we need a bees emote. I'm really gonna be. Wow, 23 people. I haven't had that many since the third episode of Fallout Monday when I broke 30. Way back in 2018. Leonovid, you are not late. What are we playing tonight? I don't know. Maybe Killing Floor 2 once we vent all the dirty laundry. So, alright. Redeem my highlight message. What? How do whatever, somebody do that. Mods, figure that out. So, Racing John, hello. Bees! Man, Ellen, remember the bees? Oh my god, we were watching some video with Peanut Butter Gamer, and he had, hacked, Super Mario, whatever. It was some Super Mario game, and the bees were everywhere. Viewers get points so they can. What the hell's been going on since I've been missing? Yeah, I guess so. Can I actually run like ads now? Did they actually get around to doing that? It was Super Mario. Oh, that's right, because of B Mario. I guess that makes perfect sense. Yeah, so we're let's go ahead and talk about what is going to be happening over Tim. Holy hell, Tim! How the devil are you, Tim? Okay, so let's talk about very briefly what is going to happen over the next couple of weeks going forward. Is Fallout Monday coming back? Absolutely yes. Is this the real time rendering of Tom being run on Xbox Series X? And this some 4D cheese ass shit from Phil Spencer? Yes, you do not doubt the world's most powerful console. So, ads, channel points, Dr. Disrespect is banned. What? What? That's karma! That's, oh my gosh, that's incredible. No disrespect. So that's crazy. So, permaband? Wow. How did I not know? I haven't been on Twitter actively since April. I kind of drifted away in February. It's been, I have literally been living under a rock. And if you see the place that I'm in right now before I got it cleaned up, it was, whoa, and here comes the sub train from K-Dog. My gosh. Holy hell. The world turned, tomorrow the sun will rise with or without me. Stop it, they're not plantation workers. It's a right to work organization. They want to eat, so they work. They banned Dr. Disrespect because Twitch is replacing him with me. When one door closes, another opens. Get me on the phone with, multiple wrestlers have been canned for being creeps. I hope Velveteen Dream is not one of them. He's my boy. I miss him. He's a good fella. Saw him at the house show. Way back when. We are having root beer tonight because it. Oh no! You've got some bad news. Oh no! That is. Wow. It is root beer. It is root beer from the soda machine because I'm trying to not have caffeine after 5 p.m. SodaStream root beer is delicious. I only have 2 flavors, the Dr. Pete, which is like a sweeter version of Dr. Pepper, and then a root beer. Velveteen Dream is a creep. God damn it, he went pro Jared on us. No, not Jack Gallagher! No! Tops, man! It's Mateus. Hello. What's up, Thompson? We got some unfinished business in Resident Evil 5 to take care of. I just went ahead and checked my save game, and we like 4-2 with those solar fire beams. Joey Ryan? Oh, no. Dave Christ. British wrestling is full of creeps, turns out. I'm not surprised by that at all. I thought there was the Imperial Cane Sugar Dr. Pepper tastes like Dr. Pepper, but a richer Dr. Pepper. You know, it's like it's hard to describe. Wow. Joey Ryan's penis. Yes. Did I see the Cyberpunk? No, I haven't. I actually haven't seen anything from Cyberpunk other than what Keanu Reeves showed off at the Microsoft press conference last year when he said, "You're beautiful." So, you've been consuming game fuel. That's why you are here, huh? But yeah, I am definitely. Cyberpunk got delayed again, but that's fine. I'm in zero hurry for them to rush that thing out the door. Let them take all the time that it needs, because I want to be able to get it and then seamlessly transition to my Xbox Series X whenever that comes out. What's up, Clay? Long time no see indeed. Tessa Blanchard got ghosted from. Wow! It's supposed to be. It'll be out when it's supposed to be out. Exactly. Exactly, Matthew. Like cooking it in a sous vide. It'll tell you when it's done. So who's Candid Camzy? Because I don't recognize that name, but I appreciate you being here. So okay, so very quickly, goodness gracious, we're about to break 40 people here. Whoa! It'll be done in 5 to 9 hours roughly. Exactly, and it's gonna be delicious. Did you get? Yes, Chucks, you are here in time for the free crack giveaway from Silent Hero. He's going to be giving away tier 1 subs and starter kits for Phantasy Star Online 2. Oh, Altair! Oh my, okay, I know exactly who you are now. Okay, good. Familiar faces and familiar places. All right, so that's fantastic. Oh! Oh my God! I know exactly who you are now. Jeez Louise, we were talking on Twitter last week. Okay, I apologize profusely. Wow, it's just like that's why I try to have like 1 to 2 names only. Sergeant Harvey on Twitter, which is I should probably change that because I haven't gone by that name in 8 million years. That was from Battlefield 1942 when the Road to Rome expansion came out in 2002. So it's been a long time. So Atma Prime, holy snaps. Okay, 41. Wow. So okay, so let's briefly talk about what is and what is not going to happen in the coming weeks. Fallout Monday is coming back. We got to finish that game because Fallout 76 is calling me, and Kate is beating the holy hell out of that game. If you're not following Lonely Geekus, Kate is a charming young lady from the Washington D.C. area, and she is playing the bejesus out of that on her PS Quattro, on her PS Audi Quattro. Matt Riddell and Jenny. Oh, that's too bad. You know, it's kind of funny that they have that Extreme Rules match free on YouTube right now, where it was The Miz, Cena, and Matt Riddell. Oops. Do Out of the Worlds instead. It's better than Fallout. Well, I already bought Fallout. I mean, I enjoyed the beta of 76 immensely. Fallout 76 is calling you Blockhead's number. Wah, wah, wah. So, but yeah, no, I enjoyed the beta, playing that with Vork a lot. Kate, you play exactly as much as you want to play. You should definitely play something weird and new. Well, Fallout Monday is coming back. Platformer Tuesday is coming back. Woody and I have to hammer out some details on 2G1's play for Thursday. Because his schedule is not the same that it was, and neither is mine. And I really don't have a schedule per se right now. I don't know why I'm trying to frame it this way, because like this part of the screen exists for me. It's just that this is where the chat is, where I'm looking for it. So funny story about SpongeBob. You already know about that one, Joe. Evelyn. Anyway. So, yes, Joey Game Days, Woody, Pit People. So when we go ahead and figure out how to finish Pit People, because now they have the like Alien Hominid reboot / sequel. And then on Fridays, Free Play Friday, I think we're just gonna like have a rotating door of like multiplayer stuff, because like I played PUBG on Saturdays with Danger Boy John and Red Robe and Dumpster Monkey, and we all went to the farmhouse because it's amazing. You know, it was just a weird time, but the part of the problem was that there was somebody slowly, systematically taking my life apart and made it impossible to stream. So no, the farmhouse is golden. I love that place. How dare you? Woody, time Dumpster Monkey out for 15 seconds for saying that. How dare he? Or Vinny, or whoever can get to him first. There are not a lot. Well, I mean, I have had Apex Legends installed for like 8 million years and still haven't played it. PUBG is now crossplay with PC. I know it's like. Also has 600 seconds. Untime him. Undo it. Undo it. Undo it. Undo it. Timeout. I have Titanfall 2 and I streamed the campaign and I freaking loved it. It made me cry. And the multiplayer's pretty darn cool too. You shouldn't time out anymore. It can be bad. Oops. Well, Shazbot. So now that we have those out there, the weekend streams, I really don't know what's going to happen with that. I know Shelby and I used to do work on Sundays. I really don't know what her schedule is anymore. Because as much as I've been talking with her and Matthew, I actually have no idea when those crazy cats work. I would just show up at their house and they would feed me delicious food from their sous vide. And if you don't know what that is, please tweet at them. They will go ahead. Whew! My gosh! Skull Master of Skulls. Spitting hot fire here. Frank the Tank, what is up? I miss you. You can get shadow banned from the chat now? What the F? Yeah, sous vide for life, sous vide everything. So, TF2. Good one, L. There's that face. The Tom face lives. Sous vide, it might be French. I don't know. So, anyways, I can't believe it's already been 18 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the heart of the matter. There's Ric Flair. I hear you can actually get your emotes approved instantly now. They don't have to be reviewed by a person anymore. I'd like to do a stream if you curated what you play. Matt, I would love that. I've been meaning to work for you, by you for like all of you sous vide all your meats. Tom's man knows what's up. We need to figure that out. Could be a bit. Did we? This is happening. This is a thing that's going to happen. Once I get the studio up and running all over again. There's a clock that, well, it doesn't tell me that on, so here's what I see from my internet-enabled device of which this is being broadcasted from. I see my face in a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is very nice, and then I see the chat, and that's it. So I don't know if, and I'm hesitant, because I've never done this before, I'm hesitant to touch the screen anywhere to find out what it does. So, have my people talk to you. Yes, this is gonna happen, Matt. We'll do that, because this stream has been sponsored by Raycon earbuds. No, not really. Raycon, talk to me, please. I love your product. So, run time. So let's talk about like real things. Everything is coming back, but why everything happened is not a happy subject, so please buckle your seatbelts. This is going to get really, really, really bad. If you were not here at the start of the broadcast as to why I disappeared from Twitch for over a year, and the reason why I haven't been on social media sporadically for the last couple of months, what's up, Lexi? I hope there's no Manscaped sponsored monies. I have tools for that already. So, for those of you who do not know, Tabitha and I are no longer together and have not been together for some time. I officially broke off and left the townhouse in February, and moved to parts unknown, the United States. When I'm ready to talk about that, I'll talk about that. Why did I leave? I was in a verbally and emotionally abusive relationship, being manhandled by a narcissist who doesn't know what she really wants out of a relationship. She knows she wants one, but she doesn't know what to, like you give her what she wants and then she doesn't know what she wants to do with it. And that was my problem because I was going through my mind of everything that I knew I what I would do to make someone happy and just kept asking for more. And it became an exhausting process. And I lost so much in the process. Not just what happened to the channel, the YouTube channel, everything. I the cats. You know, they're everything to me. And all I have left now is Frady and Gentleman. Silky died of a seizure in 2018, and I wasn't ready to talk about that, but Noisy, Cortana, and Littlest Panther have been missing since March of last year. She kicked them out because she was not willing to give them time to adjust to their new environment when we moved into that townhouse. And she was so sure that buying them a little cat condo and doghouse the size of a greyhound could fit in, that they would stay nearby and eat the food, and in 4 weeks' time, all three of them were missing. And when that happened, I knew that there was nothing left for me to be around her. And I had no place to go. I had nothing to do. Those were my children, and she took them away because she thought they were feral. And it happened so fast all at once that we actually got visited by animal control because neighbors reported that we were abandoning animals. And if it weren't for the amenities that we had for them outside, we would have been arrested. I kind of wish we did get arrested because then she would actually have to answer to this barbarism. And I have no recourse for this because anytime she said, why? Why don't you care anymore? It's like, give me back my cats and maybe we can start over. So, Gentleman has a food allergy. He can't be around other cats anymore because if he eats anything that's based in chicken, dairy, or poultry, I'm sorry, not poultry, fish, or dairy, he will have convulsions and throw up and all sorts of terrible things. So he is living with my mother, and he is getting a diet completely based on duck. There is canned cat food made from duck meat. There is dried cat food made from duck meat. So that's what Gentleman is eating. And Frady is with me, and she's all I've got left, and I love her to pieces, and she has stayed by my side on the couch, on the bed, kitchen table. She's actually right over there. Maybe she'll poke her head up. So, how did we get to this? How did we get to this madness where my freaking children were taken away from me? Matthew, it's expensive. Well, it all started with Tinder. Swipe right! As I kept telling everybody. Swipe right, get a piece. I mean that. Let's be real. Nobody really goes on Tinder looking for a relationship. They're looking to get some ass. Bottom line. And that's exactly what it was. And much to my surprise, I got a match during MagFest 2018 from somebody who drove a blue BRZ. And I couldn't believe it. It's like, are you serious? You're close by? What's going on here? Well, she really wasn't. She had moved up here from Florida, and she was attending a nursing conference on the other side of the river. So it actually wouldn't be for another 2 weeks before I'd actually meet her. And she wore a lovely blue dress and these sparkling glasses. And we met at a Five Guys, and I bought her lunch and went back to my place, and we knocked it out. Like, no hesitation on her part. And that's fantastic. And she said, let's do this again next week. And then we went on a dinner date to, there's a Sonic's Drive-In about an hour or so from west of Leesburg, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so I'm pretty sure all sorts of creepy things were going through her head. This guy's taking me to a rural part of the state where I'm going to be buried in someone's backyard. No, we're just going for fast food because they don't have nice things where I live. Yes, Matthew, that is exactly the problem right there. You've been to that Sonics? Yeah, I love that Sonics over at the Virginia Gateway Center right off of Route 7. So we kept going and going, and then one day she says, you should have dinner. We should have dinner over here. Come on over. And then she drops it on me that she has a daughter. An absolutely wonderful daughter named Evelyn. You know her as Teddy Route 12. She has forever changed my life, forever. And the thing is, I really wish she had told me that there was a child anywhere. Because what happens when the relationship goes south? I'm in the child's life, then I'm not in the child's life. That's not okay. And it was not okay the way she introduced me to her. She called her downstairs and said, this is my friend Tom. No, I'm not her friend. She should have said something else. That's not okay. That's like the same bullshit my dad pulled on me, saying that his friend Karen, yes, my stepmother's an actual Karen, and she is an actual Karen. It's not okay. Because I promised myself that if I were to ever have to go through the same thing, I would never put the child through the same bullshit that I went through with my father or my parents. My mother actually made a concerted effort. She actually invited her husband-to-be and their children over to our house for dinner, saying that she was someone that she was dating. She at least had the decency to do that. Now that is a story for another day, but that was at least the effort my mother went through to do that. So I get fucking ambushed, pardon my expletives, and you know, I don't know what to do. I haven't raised a child. I haven't been around kids. I haven't worked at GameStop in 8 years. I really don't know how to interact with them. You know, it's just kind of on the fly, and then I was thinking, well, what is something that every child loves, and that's pizza. And there happened to be a CiCi's right around the corner, and we went there. And everything was high fives and smiles. Oh my gosh, you know, here's the Evelyn's, you know, just dumping it all right down there. You know, it was not okay because we had gone on multiple dates with Evelyn around, and we had gone to Medieval Times twice. But speaking of which, I had gone to Medieval Times 3 times in a year. You know, it was fun after the first one, but 2 other times, and it was just like, she's like there holding my hand and kissing me on the cheek and everything. And Evelyn's coming from the ladies' room on the other side of the room, wondering what the hell's going on. Tell your daughter what you are doing. Not okay. So, fast forward 2 months later, it's my birthday. And she's got presents for me. And I don't know what to expect. I told her what my Amazon wish list was, and she insisted that she would get stuff herself. And I was like, okay, whatever. No, Medieval Times is great. It's just that you don't want to go to it all the time because the show is the same until they change the show. The best thing that you can do is place your bet when you start which knight is going to go to WrestleMania and actually fight the Northern Invaders. We all place our bets. Of course, you want to root for the section that you're in. Go Red Knight, go Black and White Knight, whatever. But, it's like, it's not the same knight who goes to the end. But anyways, I like the food, but it is expensive, and you get half of a roast chicken, half of a roasted potato, corn on the cob, and yes, she did VIP, and she paid for all of it. Got pictures with the king and the queen and everything, But, so, anyways, it's my birthday, and she's already been introduced to my mother, and she says she wants to get presents for me. And she doesn't want to get them off my wish list, so now I have no idea what to expect. And it is, yes, Medieval Times is something you want to try at least once. Don't make a habit of going because it's expensive. And like I said, the show's the same until they announce a new show. So she goes ahead, and we go over to my place before we head over to Mother's go for dinner and cake and all that other fun stuff. And she goes ahead and drops all of these things on me. And you ever get a gift from a distant relative that is going to be in town for your birthday, but they don't know what to get you, so they just get you like tchotchkes? It was like that. And one of them was a little plush toy of they were bacteria of STDs, but they were made to look all cute, and they had a tagline of Pokemon gotta catch 'em all. And she thought it was cute, and I was actually biting my tongue because she actually gave me a UTI. And I didn't know I had one. All I know is I was feeling like shit and getting sicker and sicker. And by the time I actually took myself to the doctor and they had me pee in a cup and said, yeah, you're 3 days away from being hospitalized. So when she got me those little things, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? What is this? Oh, guys can get UTIs, and I had them all the time when I was little because I've got bad kidneys and I was born with hypospadias. And if you don't know what that is, go and look it up on Wikipedia. Yeah, Evelyn, I told you about that. You didn't know about the little plush toys. But yeah, she gave me a UTI, so that fucking sucked. So that was super awful. I've never had an STD in my entire life, and of course she's the one that, gets me one that's traditionally not considered one. So Sean knows my pain, look at that. So it's a lot harder for males to get them, but they can get them, so. Hello, Catawolf. So, and then she pulls out after all of these little tchotchkes, but aren't any, I mean, technically it is. So, anyway, she goes in, and then out of all this stupid stuff that she got me, that's the only thing I can remember because I just couldn't believe she did that. And then she pulls out a bag from Jared's, the gallery of jewelry, and my heart rate starts to go crazy, because that is not a good sign. I don't know if you know, but I don't believe in the institution of marriage. I think it's outdated, and we don't need it as a society. But she wanted to get me something to show how serious she was about me. And she pulls out a box, and I open it, and it's a tungsten, titanium, platinum, inlet, sapphire laden bracelet. And she says that was supposed to be a ring, and we can go get it if you want one. And I start freaking the fuck out. It is May. We had been seeing each other for 4 months, and she wanted to put a ring on me. That is not okay by any stretch of the imagination. This is not okay. So if you ever saw me on stream fidgeting with my right arm and fixing that bracelet up, that was because of her. And I told her how I felt about marriage and how I is a man's word not good enough anymore. That you actually have to have a piece of paper from the state and a wedding band on your finger to prove that you are going to be forever loyal to someone. Excuse me, that is not okay. I really hope within my lifetime that kind of stuff goes away. Because to me, that is just the death of you. Is that you are never going to be yourself because you're permanently shackled to somebody else. Whoever said shackles, that's exactly how I felt. And she cried. She cried a lot. She thought I didn't love her. I thought I loved her. Thought I did. But I didn't. But I have a real hard time saying no to people. And I didn't want to her stop being happy. So I said, let's go forward. And when we are ready to move in, if we don't kill each other after a year, we can talk about this again. And that didn't stop. She still kept crying. I'm like, how selfish are you? Do you honestly think that you were going to go and throw a ring at somebody like that? You know, and then that's when I found out that she had been married 3 times before. And technically, she's still married to her 3rd husband right now. She filed jointly with him on their taxes. You know? Which, to that extent, I was fucking a married woman. Are you freaking kidding me? Ring is off, but the paperwork is still legal. And her room was actually the a guest bedroom in the basement of the townhouse of where her ex lived. Because they wanted to give a household where the mother and the father were there for their child, which is admirable. But here's the thing. No, she wasn't cheating on him. Her husband knew the entire time. They just stopped being faithful to each other. They just wanted to do what was best for their daughter. So that really did make me feel okay. Staying the night there, knowing 3 floors above me was a guy that is 6'8" and can palm a basketball and almost killed me by accident because he thought I was an intruder. Evelyn, that wasn't your father's fault. He didn't know I was in the house. Okay? He didn't hurt me permanently. But anyways, your father's a good man. So, that was uncomfortable staying the night knowing that was all going on. But Yeah, she tried to put a ring on it after 4 months, and it was in the form of a bracelet. And then when I got her, yes, he is a monster of a man. Beard, ponytail, massive. Evelyn's gonna be like 6 feet tall when she's done growing. She's almost taller than her mom already. So, extremely muscular. He was in the army too. That's actually how he met Tabitha. And and here's the terrible thing: Tabitha got out of the army by intentionally getting knocked up. So that's great. Oh yeah, yeah. He could kill all of us easily. I believe, he was in counterintelligence. He was deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. So he's seen the real deal. Like, don't call him that. Is he related to Mog? So, yeah, so that was pretty awful. And then later on, she found out that she thought she could get herself a. Yes! No, that's. Geeks. Danny Boy, that's exactly what she wanted to do. The no divorce papers had been signed, and she was ready to go ahead and do an engagement on me already. So that's pretty awful. So legally, yeah, exactly. That's what was going on. So, but by this time, things had settled, and I was starting to get my medicine adjusted on to what I am right now, which is 20 milligrams of Lexapro and 4 milligrams of risperidol. And she was triggering my anxiety the worst way possible that I could not tolerate or stand for it. Because I would work at the mechanic's garage from 6:45 to 3:15. And then I would go home. Excuse me. And I would go ahead and clean the cat boxes because they had to be taken care of every day. I had to feed the cats, and then I had to go ahead and take a shower and then maybe relax a little bit because I was exhausted. I am, and the terrible thing was I was about 80 pounds lighter before I met her, and I got fat because she insisted on eating out all the time because she didn't want to take time to actually prepare and plan out a menu of what she wanted to eat over the course of a week. So, once I got my, she would obsessively call me and text me and want to talk to me every day after work. And I actually ended up getting my first pair of wireless Bluetooth earbuds so I could talk to her. Oh, Dumpster, don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead on that. Don't jump ahead. Dumpster just said something, but you already know what's going on. So, so she would want to talk to me all the time, and that's where I got my first pair of Bluetooth earbuds because she would run down my battery talking so much that I actually had to go to the Apple store to get it replaced. But also I had to have it plugged into the wall and then have it on speakerphone, and then the landlady would complain that it would echo all the way up the stairs. So I bought those earphones so I could talk to her and still do stuff around the house. So that was really messed up. But the fact that she was setting off my anxiety because she wanted to go ahead and have me to herself at all times of the day. And this is where the show stopped being something fun for her and started being competition. It was really, really not okay. Because I can't remember what horrible thing had gone on, but I was on Skype with Vinny and we were playing Kirby Superstar, and I was laughing and high-fiving and having a good time, and I was saying, man, this is what I needed. This is what I absolutely needed. And then after the show was done at midnight, I'd drive over to her place and then spend the night and, pretty much spend the weekend at her ex-husband's house, which is weird saying out loud when you really break it down. And then I get there, and she was in absolute tears saying, why can't I be the thing that you look forward to? Why can't I be the thing that fulfills you? What? You are not competition. You are something different. I love being in front of a camera and playing games and laughing with my friends. Yep, she... And what Clay just said too, she was absolutely livid that I was playing a game on the PS4 that she bought me and not playing a game with her. Now, even if Bloodborne was a 4-player game, I think she would have been so frustrated she would have quit early on anyway. But I got obliterated from her because she kept blowing up my phone, and Clay Kelly could hear it on Discord of her just obsessively texting me, and then I would call her and she was screaming at me why it was taking so long to get over there. And we were up until 4 in the morning arguing, and then in the middle of the argument she just starts vacuuming. Just gets her vacuum and just starts vacuuming the basement. And it was just... She did it because that's the only thing that she can control. War of the North was a wonderfully frustrating experience. I loved the game. I hated playing it with her because all she's ever played in her entire life is MMOs and Skyrim, and she can't adjust her tactics. And that Fallout Monday eternally frustrated me because she's never played on console and she hates controllers. So she goes ahead and just fucked up my game for a session. That pissed me off. You know, she was like, why do you care so much? Because it is the one thing that I can control and the one thing that I can look back on proudly. So, yeah, those were not fun times. And you know, the terrible thing is, to this day, I still have that bracelet. But I have no idea how much she paid for it. I know how much a PS4 Pro is, and I did not feel comfortable accepting that gift. And of course, she put me on the spot and had me unbox the thing on stream. That's not okay. You give a gift, you give it in private. Don't put it out on display. It's like, oh, look what I did for my boyfriend. I'm so great. No! The hell is wrong with you? The terrible thing is, she goes ahead and gets me a gift that's that expensive and expects immediate return on that with me, that we're going to go and play something together. You know? And the terrible thing is, I found out about it months in advance, and I was dreading the countdown towards it because I saw that she got an email from GameStop, and I was like, oh, I was wondering if, like, you know, because I was going to get Evelyn Skyrim for Christmas 2018, and she got her Skyrim some point over that summer. And she was having it delivered or something like that, and I was thinking, oh, maybe this is it, and I open it up, it says PS4 Pro Spider-Man Edition. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Because I have no way of reciprocating something that expensive. That takes me months. She literally, as a CCRN Class 4 nurse in the ER, makes 3 times as much as I have ever made. She made, at that point in time, $97,000 a year before her overtime get factored in. Now she's going to be closer to 120, which is about as much as Evelyn's father makes working for Verizon. So, yes, Eraser, that's what happened to the Spider Machine. She commandeered it when I moved in with her because she wanted to play Horizon Zero Dawn and never actually got around to doing it. So, with all of this wonderful stuff going on, you're probably wondering, why the hell did you move in with her? Because I'm an idiot. And Shelby explained everything to me that was happening to her and her ex. And she literally had a roadmap. And she was, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. She called it at every single turn, said, don't do this, because it literally, history repeated itself. I'm so glad she has Matthew now, because what she was going through before was inexcusable. So, I thought that if I gave her what she'd want, I'd be able to get what I needed, which was a studio and a permanent roof over my head. Because the landlady that I was living at was thinking about selling her house and downsizing because she's retired. Because she was thinking it was just too much trouble to maintain that place. So suddenly the living room studio didn't look like it was going to be a permanent proposition. Completely separate of that time, she thought it was a good idea to start looking at houses. So that's why in the fall of 2018 we started looking at places. And that's why the Sunday streams kept going late and everything, because she started having these little panic attacks thinking that she wasn't going to be able to find anything. And then she goes ahead and finds out she can't qualify for a veteran's loan because her military service was non-consecutive. Because she served in the National Guard and she served in the Army. But that wasn't enough time to combine the 4 years. Maybe if you actually served out your 4-year term in the Army instead of getting knocked up on purpose so you can get an honorable discharge, maybe you would have gotten that veteran's loan. Idiot! The only time she ever got on Twitter was to actually tweet at Donald Trump saying, you were going to stand for the veterans and you're not standing for me now. Yeah, like he's actually going to pay attention to that. So, by hook or by crook, she somehow found a way to get a loan and actually went ahead and got that townhouse that we... So, she gets the money, she gets the townhouse, and then we start to move in. And using my mother's Uplander, of all things, we went ahead and started loading stuff out of Michael's house into what was going to be our house. She did not hire a mover's crew, she did not hire a moving van, it was all fronted by me. Because I thought it was going to be the right thing to do. And it wasn't. But we got everything in there, and once we did get everything in there, there was a big problem. There was no place for my stuff. She had severely undercalculated how much stuff she actually had. And she was adamant of taking one of the two bedrooms upstairs and turning it into a rec room. Vinny has seen the rec room. The rec room is quite impressive. It has a 3-wide recliner stadium style seating with a ceiling mounted projector, and then what was the closet for all your clothes was the entertainment system with the surround sound speakers going around. So there went my studio, because she wasn't really going to compromise that. So my studio was placed in the acoustically unbalanced living room where anybody and everybody can walk right through, and it sounded horrible and I hated it. But that's what I had. And when I said that MoveFest was taking too long, that was partially true, because I had more stuff than she did, but I had no place to put it. So I definitely should not have moved in. So, no place for my studio, no place for my stuff, and I had to rent a storage unit that was about a mile away to put all my stuff in because I didn't have anywhere else to go. And she really didn't care. And that's when things were still okay. And then the unthinkable happened. The company I worked for downsized and I got laid off. And that's where things really started to take a turn for the absolute worst. And I did something that was debatably as dumb, if not dumber, than me moving in with her, but it provided me clarity in a time when I didn't have much of that, and I went off my meds. And for someone who is such a outspoken advocate of mental health, the absolute worst thing that you can do is go off your meds. And I just became aware of how emotionally numb my anti-anxiety medication was making me, that I didn't realize how unhappy I was living with her. At this point, it had only been 3 months. So I was off them for about 6 weeks, to the point where I was starting to get earth-shattering withdrawal headaches, which I didn't even know that was a side effect that could happen. But she noticed that something was going on, because I wasn't the happy-go-lucky self, and I was just telling her that I was just that depressed that I couldn't find work, which was true. You know, someone with my skill sets, you think I would be able to fall immediately into another job and actually find what I need, and the answer was a big fat no. Northern Virginia is not a... Yeah, we're getting to that, Evelyn. There was nothing to be had. There was nothing going on. I couldn't find anything. And she graciously paid for my bills from April to June. Unfortunately, that racked up about $12,000 with everything that I had, between my credit cards, my loans, and everything else. So it's, I couldn't find a job in management. I couldn't find a job in logistics, which is what I've been doing, because I had actually switched from working on the mechanic's garage to actually being the guy that delivered the parts and stuff from the central warehouse to the garages themselves, and there was 13 of them. But they had decided to downsize and reevaluate how they do business, and I wasn't a part of that plan, so off I went. And that really sucked. And once I finally got back on my meds, and I was like, okay, let's just see if you were in a dark, awful place where your brain's firing off at 1,800 miles per hour with no governor. Do you really feel this way about her? And once I got on there and gave it a solid 2 weeks, I was like, yes, I really am that unhappy. And that's about the time when she said, no rent, no show. That's why I had to stop streaming, because she took it away from me. Because I begged with her and pleaded with her, please, if we are going to buy this house, let's sit down and get a budget so I can figure out what my financial contribution is with all my bills. And if she had given me 6 months, I would have been caught up on everything. Never mind losing my job. But we went through with it, and she never gave me a budget, and she said, your half of the rent is this. And it's like, I can't do this. What about a third? I can maybe do a third in a couple of months. Let's do a fourth. She wouldn't let me do a fourth. And it was close to $700 at a third. I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. It just wasn't in the budget. But the stream is a source of income. Aha! She never thought so. And in fact, Evelyn wants to start streaming, and she told her to not do it either, because she doesn't think it's a viable source of income. Because she says, I don't have what it takes to be a streamer. Other people's names got called. Yours didn't. Make it a hobby. Hobbies aren't supposed to be taking up all your time. She makes so much that she could actually sustain me, her bills, and the mortgage all on her own. So, yeah, that's really not okay. So the stream went away, and then she said, well, I guess you're allowed to have some fun. You can stream 1 day a week. And I chose to put G1 Game Days at the front of that, because the connection to the community is the thing that matters the most to me. And she never understood that. Despite being part of guilds and MMOs, she doesn't think internet friends are real and they don't matter. All because she had one turncoat on her. Well, I'm sorry. What happens to you does not reflect what happens to everybody else. Well, Leonovad, I may be an entertaining streamer, but this viewership that I'm getting right now, I have never gotten since AVG and Adventures launched on Steam in 2015. So let's be real about this. If I'm actually going to go ahead and do this again full time, I need everybody's help. Yes, internet friends are real. So... And I was actually scared to death to actually start streaming here again until I found out that she apparently deleted her account. It's the only reason why I felt comfortable doing this, after Matt and Shelby called me up and said, stop being a fucking idiot and do it. Much like how Shelby did way back in 2012. Tom, just fucking do it. So the show went away and I only did G1 Game Days. And she wanted to know why I didn't do this stream any other time, and I didn't want to stagger my viewership, and I thought it was stupid. Hello, Toomey. Hello, Mark. Verbally debased. That's one way of putting it. So she said the show was not viable, and she said I couldn't do it. And then I got the job at Amazon. And that's when things... I really don't know if they got better or even worse at that point. Because as soon as I started making money again, she demanded payment. And I was annoyingly good-natured, Shira. That's mostly the pills. I started working at Amazon, and I had not bought anything for myself in such a long time, and that's when I started asking people on Twitter, like, hey, what's a good place to get some anime? Like you're trying to buy drugs or something like that. And everybody said Sentai Filmworks, go check those guys out, and I did. And she was in Iowa with Evelyn at the time, visiting her sister. And they had been planning on doing this vacation for a long time and everything. And she sends me a picture of this hillside of kittens and says, which one do you want? And I'm like, are you serious? Are you going to go ahead and actually ask me to have another kitten to replace the 3 that you kicked out? Are you really going to do that to me? And I didn't hear from her for a week after that, because she was there for 2. Not okay. Also, let's be realistic. Driving back from Iowa to Northern Virginia with a kitten in the car for 14 hours, do you think that's a really good idea? I don't think so. Because bear in mind, she went ahead and threw everybody out. And you know what's really, really, really awful about that? Remember that time when Littlest Panther fell inside the drywall and I had to go and dig her out? There was 2 access points. There was the drywall itself in the bathroom where I heard her, and there was a little PVC pipe outlet that was covered by a false wall that I could open. Well, despite all that drama, she still felt it was necessary to throw her out. So I have a video of Littlest Panther on my phone, which is the last time that I saw her before she disappeared forever. And that was just really, really not okay that she did that. But hold on. This is me with her on the deck of our back porch, and she absolutely refused to leave my side. She was terrified. I actually fell out asleep in the sun and got a sunburn because I wanted to be next to her. So when she said, "Which kitten do you want?" I thought, the audacity you have to try to replace my family after what you pulled. So, anyway, I ordered the box of anime, and she says, "Why haven't you paid me?" I said, "I'll pay you. I'll pay you what I can afford." And after she demanded that she see my bank account balance and sees the total of $92 and wants to know what is that, I told her I ordered some movies, and she absolutely flipped out. It's midnight. I need to go to bed. And she just wouldn't let it go that I went ahead and spent something on myself, and I could only afford to send her $500 instead of $600, which was my entire freaking paycheck. So from that point on, she actually wanted me to go ahead and have all of my direct deposit checks from Amazon directly sent to her checking account at USAA because she didn't trust me. Well, she's done enough to me to not want to trust her. And, I knew the relationship was over the instant she made me put Cortana outside. But I put up with it for another 6 months. So, and that's when the real problems started to really, 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 really started to rear their ugly head, because I couldn't move in with my parents because my father lives in Seattle and my mother's third husband is also ex-Army and he doesn't want anybody else living with them. So I couldn't move in with her, and I couldn't move back into the studio basement because the lane lady had already gone ahead and changed everything out and wouldn't let me back in. So I literally had nowhere to go, and she said either pay up or get out. So I would go ahead and cash app her my entire freaking paycheck, with the exception of my car loan and gasoline and car insurance. That's it. And that was really not a lot left over after that. And this went on from August to October. And during that time, I fell behind on all of my bills and credit cards and my loans. How did I eat? The food that she would buy, and I was only allowed one serving of whatever it was. Not 2 hamburgers, only 1. Not 2 hot dogs, only 1. Not 2 packets of ramen, only 1. And her solution to everything, when she actually decided to start cooking in the house instead, was to have me do it. I was literally in jail. I had to cook everything, I had to clean everything, because I was home more often than she was. Evelyn, you didn't need to know this, but she was livid that I actually had some ramen that wasn't a part of dinner. And that's what actually turned into something that was actually so freaking bad. Remember that night where we just had instant rice and some fish? Well, I was over at my mother's trying to fix her laptop, and she wanted to know when I was going to be home, and I told her 7:30. And then she just starts screaming, saying, "You better be there because my child wants to see you." Bada, bada, bada. Literally screaming so loud that my mother, on the other side of the living room, got her phone out and started using the voice memo recorder to record how loud she was yelling about the fact that I wanted to eat an entire bag of rice by myself. To which I had to remind her she didn't buy that rice. It was a gift from my mother to us. So, that was that. And then Amazon lays me off. So now I have debt coming in from both sides, and I have no job. And then, oh then, I get picked up by this super shady company that took my job from Amazon in the first place because Amazon decided to lay off their entire driver fleet. Anybody that you actually see now delivering for Amazon is now as a part of what was known as a DSP, a delivery service partner. They're independent contractors. They don't work directly for Amazon. They work for a shell company that takes contracts from Amazon. So I go ahead and get hired by these guys, and she wants to know why she isn't getting her money. Yeah, exactly, or Joe. That's what I thought it was too when I first saw the signs hanging from the ceiling saying DSPs here, and I'm like, Darkside Phil, oh God. So I go to work for these guys, and the nice thing about Amazon was you got a paycheck every week. So you weren't far away from getting money when you needed money, but this was, a mom and pop operation. They went to every 2 weeks. So when she didn't get her money, I said it's going to be at least 3 weeks before our first check comes through. She thought I was lying. And it wasn't until I actually had the paper check in my hand that she actually believed me. So that really didn't go over well. And then I had to continue to go ahead and pay out the ass to actually just exist in a place that I didn't even feel safe at. Because if there was anything that was out of wrong, like maybe I splashed something on the toilet, or Frady peed on the floor because she missed the litter box or something like that. And the funny thing was, the only reason why Frady didn't get thrown outside is because she was the only one that used the litter box properly. From the moment we moved in, everybody else was like, this is a new house, let me figure out what's going on. She gave them 3 days to get adjusted before she threw them out. It's unbelievable. So I'm working for this mom and pop company, and they are not being very honest, but they are giving me overtime, and I'm getting about as much overtime as I possibly can. And then, Wolf, here's the reason why I'm being open and honest about all of this, is because just in the off chance that somebody else is going through the same thing as me, I want you to know that you're not alone. And that's why I'm doing this. It just took me a long time to come through. So, anyways, we're going through, and then Amazon goes ahead and pulls all the contracts, and my DSP fires me again on December 27th. 2 days after Christmas, I have no job. MagFest is right around the corner. I am living off of what credit card balance I have left. So, I probably shouldn't have gone, but I did because I wanted to see my friends, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get a chance to do that again. And then I went, and I am not a religious person by any means. I really think it's... There's an old saying that God watches out for the simple and children, or children and the simple, or something like that. Something happened where an opportunity fell into my lap, and I went for it. And that opportunity was to get as far away from her as possible. And I basically kept it as a quiet as of a secret as I possibly could. I started to dismantle the studio. I started packing up what little things I had left, and started moving everything into the storage unit as quickly as I could. Am I in Germany? No, I am not in Germany. I'm in Finland. I'm hanging out with the guys from the Hydraulic Press channel. Fools, Children, and Ship's Name Enterprise, exactly. Except for the Enterprise D. Whoops. Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but anyways. So, I went ahead and it wasn't until when I started taking the studio apart that she realized something was going on. And I told her that come February 9th, I'm not going to be here anymore. And she didn't believe me until I didn't come home from dinner. Because you had been threatening to do this for months, and what made me think that you actually were going to do it? And the really, really shitty part about this whole thing was, a week after MagFest, which was a week before our anniversary, which I took her out for dinner anyway, despite how awful things had been. She went ahead and adopted a dog named Charlie. And Charlie is the sweetest dog I've ever met in my life. But she adopted this dog on the premise that she was expecting me to be there to help take care of it. And after I told Evelyn what had happened to my cats, that she needed to take care of Charlie Doggo in my absence. Charlie is a half golden lab, half German Shepherd. And Charlie is such a sweetheart. You can see maybe Woody, I don't know. So, it's not like she got the dog so that we would, try to save the relationship. Like some people have a baby to try to save the relationship or something like that. No, she always wanted a dog, and gotta be honest, it helped Frady lose some weight by having Charlie around. But Charlie is a sweetie, and I miss her to pieces. But the fact that she got the dog on the premise that I was going to be around and be the one to help take care of it, that's really fucking shitty. You treat pets with the same level of respect as you treat a person. They are not a choice. They are a living, breathing being. You take care of them if you get one. So, Evelyn has been doing a crackerjack job. And when I went back to go pick up Frady, Charlie remembered me instantly. And you know what the really, really messed up thing about all this is? She was expecting me to come back to go ahead and take her to her knee surgery operation in March, a month after I left. As a friend. Really? Do you think that you could actually do that? Ask me of a favor like that? The wounds haven't even been closed, and you want me to come back to take you to a surgery as a friend? Before I even got a chance to respond, she says, "Don't bother, Adam's taking me instead." Who's Adam? Well, apparently she started seeing somebody and got rejected by 3 different somebodies before she met this Adam guy, and Adam is now living with her the day after the surgery happened, because Adam was in the process of getting a divorce, and his wife threw him out when she found out about that. So she's been living with this guy, who I'm sure he's a fine person. I've only met him twice. She craves chaos, and she can't get it from me, and she can't hurt me anymore. Adam can go ahead and learn this the hard way. From what Evelyn tells me, all they all do is play Raid Shadow Legends. They should get sponsored by them if they had a YouTube channel. So, And that more or less brings us to where we are right now. To this place that I reside in, that I am very grateful to have.